Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we are Group 2 will deliver our presentation about bovine brucellosis, a case report in Colombia. Our group is consists of Nurul, Adinda, Natasya, Fahma Nur Fadila, Salma Rizkia, and Raina, Khairana, Denando. And the introduction, please explain.
Okay, first is introduction. So, bovine brucellosis is an important zoonosis with worldwide distribution. And bovine brucellosis is a zoonotic disease that causes substantial economic losses and has a strong impact on public health. Bovine brucellosis is a chronic infectious disease caused by Brucella abortus, which has developed mechanisms to live intracellularly and is able to infect cattle for long periods of time. Some animals are asymptomatic, having latent infection without exhibiting clinical signs, thus maintaining the disease control. Next. The next is about Brucella abortus. Taxonomically, Brucellae come under alpha-2 subdivision of Proteobacteria. They are gram-negative, aerobic, facultative intracellular rods or cocobacilli, which lack capsules, endosporesor, native plasmids. The bacterium has a diameter of 0.5 until 0.7 millimeter and has 0.6 until 1.5 millimeter length. The brucellae are able to survive freezing and thawing, but are susceptible to most of the common disinfectants. The bacterium remains viable in environment for months, especially in cool and wet conditions. Pasteurization can effectively kill Brucella in milk. Next. So, Brucella can be transmitted via horizontal or vertical route, and the aborted fetuses, placental membranes, and uterine discharge act as main source of infection. The mode of transmission can be divided into four. The first is the newborns who drink milk from the infected animals. The second, natural selfish or artificial insemination from one herd to another from infected pools. The third is sharing the same water source with infected animals, and the fourth is inhalation. Next. The next will be explained by Nurul Adinda.
Brucella case in Colombia. In the last couple of years, Colombia's Preeminent dairy region has seen an usual increase in the number of fetal produced cattle, Antioxilla santa, Rosa deosos, Interia Palmyra, and San Pedro de los Milagros. This region is leading milk production in Colombia, represented by about 30% of the country's annual milk production, around 31 to 15 families make their living from the production of milk in this region. The sera of 656 bovines were collected from 40 dairy herds. With subsequent serial testing within the herd, the mean of positive animals was 3.61%. Next. and bovine brucellosis in these cases spreads easily in daily regions because they are favorable environmental conditions for their proliferation. The different management practices used for milk production offer an opportunity for the bacteria to multiply and spread the disease faster. Management practices such as co-grazing, the sharing of water source with the neighborhood, and lack of exclusive maternity pens were associated with a seropositive animal. The majority of the factors associated with the introduction and spread of brucellosis in livestock are directly related to the management practice, being the introduction of new animals to the herd, either purchase or transfer. Next. Okay, I'm sorry, Nurul. It's your turn.
Okay, the next material will be delivered by Nurul, Adinda, Natasya. Are you ready?
Of in Colombia, operations of infected animals, accidental inoculations during vaccinations programs, veterinarians, laboratorians, slaughters, sorry, I'll continue, slaughterhouse workers, and field workers. Therefore, eradicating the disease has become a major goal of public health programs in endemic countries. And the main risk factor for the introductions and spread of brucellosis in livestock are directly related to the lack of biosecurity and best management practice. Next. However, even in the absence of abortions, the bacteria can easily spread to cattle herds through the previous excretions of organisms in the placenta, fetal fluids, and vaginal discharge. The bacteria can live in soil, water, pasture, and manure for a long time. Next. Of brucella, diagnostic sensitivity is low, and the bacteria is considered a bioterrorist agent. Therefore, serological testing is recommended for the surveillance and the development of public health in developing countries. Next.
Okay,
The
the
next
next.
is delivered by Fahma.
Okay, thank you, Tasya. And I will deliver quarantine strategy. The ability to prevent animal disease must be enhanced along with the ease with some animal disease agents that are present to mutate or become more virulent. The incidence of infectious emerging animal disease and the emerging infectious disease some time ago have signaled that animal quarantine should not be caught off guard the threat of the entry of the disease that doesn't yet exist in Indonesia. And because brucellosis can have a several impact in human health, It is vital to develop effective strategies to prevent and eradicate the infection in livestock. The strategies that should be applied are: first, livestock health examination. Examination is carried out by clinically, physically, visually, and laboratory on animal to detect quarantine pests and animal disease. Sorry. And the next is isolation. Isolation is done by separate healthy livestock from those affected by quarantine pests and animal disease. And the next is observation. Observe the host or livestock animal which can carry quarantine pests and animal disease based on the result of risk analysis and health examination. And the next is treatment. Treatment is done to release or disinfect the host or livestock or other acts preventive, curative, and or promotive in nature. And the next strategies for quarantine livestock is detention. Detention is done to secure the house and under the supervision of the quarantine official. And there is also rejection. Rejection of house is to prevent it from spread of quarantine pests and animal disease and avoidance disturbance to human health and damage to resource-saving nature. And the next is destruction. The destruction is carried out by burning, destroy, bury, and mean of destruction by other appropriate so that the house is unlegally being source of spread of pest and disease. And for the last step, there is release. Release is carried out by issuing animal certificate or release for entry or animal health certificate or sanitary certificate for spending. And there is also a strategies addition, namely vaccination, adequate vaccination programs by optimized use of vaccine, targeted animal health, vaccine quality standards will improve food safety and public health. And those are our references in making our presentation and our case report. So this is end of our presentation. We are apologize if we made any mistakes, and we are so thankful from your attention today. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.